Museum of Australian Democracy at Eureka, MADE, engages visitors in the compelling story of democracy. Located on the historic site of the 1854 Eureka Stockade, MADE explores the powerful story of the struggle for people's rights in Australia and the world. And a feature of the display is the original Eureka flag. The museum's cafe, Saltbush Kitchen, displays a variety of Indigenous artworks and overlooks the Eureka Park Memorial Gardens and lake. Stage 3 of the Tour of the Goldfields is here in Burrumbee, over 58 kilometres. It's a circuit race, 2 intermediate sprints and 1 King of the Mountains climb, but I don't think that'll play too much of a role. It's a fairly small hill. In the overall lead of the race, Georgia Baker remains in that position, 10 seconds ahead of her teammate Rebecca Wysack, but in the overall series lead of the Subaru National Road Series, she's narrowed the 18-point lead at the start of the tour down to 12 points.
There is potential for Georgia to overtake Ruth. She's picking back those points, but we're ticking all the boxes each stage, and that's our goal. Take each stage as it comes and get Georgia the most points, and it would be amazing if Georgia could pull it off.
It's going to be on from us. We aren't going to sit in. We've got nothing to lose. It's the last race for us as Bicycle Superstore, so we're just going to give it all, possibly from the start, and then if anyone can chase us down, then good luck to them.
There was not a lot of wind as the peloton rolled out. However, the narrow roads to come still made for a nervous bunch. Only a few kilometres in, and Lauren Fitzgerald slipped on a dusty corner and touched down. The first of the 2 intermediate sprints came after 7 kilometres, with Kendall Hodges taking it out ahead of Taylor Evans and Louisa Lobigs.
It was a really nice course today. I think it was narrow roads, which is quite similar to some racing overseas, so positioning was also key. There was some crosswinds as well, so it made for the racing interesting, and it was just mainly country roads, rolling hills, a few little hills, but yeah, lovely scenery.
True to her word, Tara and Heather attacked, and the overall race leader Georgia Baker covered it with Ruth Corset glued to her wheel.
After the sprint there was attacks all the time, and left, right and centre coming from Holden and also Bike Superstore as well. So, that was always attacking, and we always had to be on our A game and make sure we were always represented up there.
It was all back together at 14 kilometres in, and the one and only Queen of the Mountain sprint, with Rebecca Wysack doing a perfect lead out for Georgia Baker to claim the bonus seconds.
Yeah, she set a really good tempo up the climb, and I was just able to grab those few extra seconds without having to put too much effort in. So yeah, it was really good teamwork there as well.
Not long after the hill sprint, Sophie Williamson was aggressive, with the ever-attentive Wysack on her wheel, and also wanting a hard race, Ruth Corset bridged across. The next to try from Holden was Louisa Lobigs. This time, it was Kendall Hodges paying attention. On the approach to the second intermediate sprint, Chloe McIntosh jumped away to pick up the points just ahead of the peloton. It was all together on the run into the line, and as the sprint for the finish started, there was a touch of wheels and a horrible sight as half the peloton crashed.
For a second I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, I hope my teammates are okay, and then I realised, crap, I've still got to sprint.
Out in front, Julia Colotas sprinted hard, but Georgia Baker came over the top to claim her 3rd straight stage win in a crash-marred final.
I think it was just a really good show of teamwork out there today, and to take the win is, just another icing on the cake for today.
Everyone was fighting for wheels, and it was really messy, and I think there's a bit of a touch of wheels in the middle, sort of near the front, and unfortunately brought 2 of our girls down, including Chris, who's hit her head pretty hard, and a lot of other girls. Really nasty crash, and I was just behind it all, so watched it all occur, and just managed to slam my brakes on before I hit my front wheel into my teammate. So really fortunate to stay upright, but unfortunate to see so many girls on the ground.
Another great performance by Georgia Baker, winning the stage ahead of Julia Kalotis and Chloe Hosking. Baker now takes a 23-second lead into the final stage over her teammate Rebecca Wysack, but perhaps more important is the 1 minute 13 seconds she has over Ruth Fawcett in sixth.